You belong on every ground your feet grace, so don't ever feel out of place. Take up space and belong. This earth is your birthplace. So I watched this movie on Tubi called Happy Anniversary, and it's starring what's her name? Megan Good's sister. Is it Amaya Good? I think it's Amaya Good something. So it starts off with um her is celebrating her anniversary with her husband Henry. Samantha celebrating her anniversary with her husband Henry, and she ends up like shooting him, like telling him that she had a surprise for him, and then she pulls out a gun and she shoots him. So Henry cheats on Samantha with Ashley, and Samantha threatens to kill him if he hurt her again, and I guess he took her for a joke, and she showed him real quick that she was not joking. So then it goes to her and her next husband, whose name is Emmett, and her name is Summer while she's with him. When they're celebrating their anniversary, she beats him with a bat before shooting him. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? Like, why is she marrying all these men and like killing them? Like, what's going on? Because that's how it started. Sometimes I hate how Tubi movies start. They be trying to like start with like the present day and then go to flashbacks to explain what happened in the present day, and I don't be feeling like it be executed properly. This wasn't too bad, but I was like, why couldn't it start with the flashback? Or after she killed Henry, the flashback of what happened to her. But then that wouldn't really make you understand because, matter of fact, let me keep going. So it flashbacks to these little boys luring her to this tree and like daring her to climb the tree, but I think she said she didn't want to do it at first. She ends up she said she didn't want to do that first, but they were trying to force her to do it. So she ends up hitting one of the boys in the head with a brick, and he pulls the gun out because they had the gun out on her. So after she hits him across his head, they get her and they tie her to the tree, and she's like trying to get loose or whatever. So it goes from the flashback to Thomas, who is her last target. He is meeting with his team for the election. Like he's trying to run for, I think, mayor, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me if I'm wrong. I think he's running for mayor, and like, so it goes to him running for mayor, and then while he's at the I think they were at like he was doing a speech or something like that, or they were in the office, something, and his wife ends up collapsing. His wife is played by Carly Red. She ends up collapsing. So she ends up having to go to the hospital. She's up in a coma, and eventually she ends up. Well, she's in a coma at this point. Okay. Dang, I can't remember her name while she's with him, but she goes into the hospital room while he's sitting bedside with his wife, supporting her or whatever. And she like basically tells him that she's sorry about what happened. And then she tells him like, I can help you win the election. I saw, your speech, and I see what you're doing with your campaign, but I think you could do better and I can help you do better. At first he's like, what are you talking about? And then he's like, he accepts her help or whatever. So, she's helping him. He ends up was it with the yeah. He ends up firing his last campaign manager. Okay. And she ends up being the campaign manager while they're on the campaign, and she's helping him with his campaign. They end up falling for each other. So they fall for each other. They start getting close, and like things were about to get like hot and heavy with them. They were about to kiss and make out, whatever, but she stops it before it gets too far. So then his wife ends up dying, and after his wife dies, like he is grieving or whatever, they end up sleeping around. Like they wasted no time. Once she was pronounced dead, they wasted no time sleeping around. He shows while they're like cuddled up after they have sex, like she asks him where his scar came from. So he's telling her the story of what happened, and it's the flashback that she saw as a kid. And he shows remorse while telling, her the story or whatever. She's asking him questions and stuff like that. Um and he tells her what happened, like that him and his friends lured this girl to a tree and they were just pranking her. One of the friends brought a gun. He told them that the gun wasn't loaded. He accidentally shoots her and they pretty much leaves her for dead, whatever. So, after this whole moment or whatever, he asked her to marry him and she says yes. Like, I'm like, they wasted no time. The ex-wife died. Like, y'all didn't even allow, like, no time to pass before y'all end up getting married. It just happened so quick. So, they get married. And while, was it at the wedding or was he no, he was they get married or whatever, and the campaign is still going on, and he's giving this speech at his campaign or whatever, and somebody ends up shooting him, and she is mad that it wasn't her that shoot him. He ends up in a coma. And she's basically like by his bedside, like, you better not die on me. I'm the one that's supposed to kill you. Don't you die on me. This is supposed to be my revenge. You're not supposed to die. Stay alive so I could kill you, basically, which is stupid because you could have just killed him while he was in a coma and that would have been you killing him. Like, make that make sense. Anyways, he ends up coming out of the coma 3 months later, and he supposedly doesn't really have any memories or nothing like that. He doesn't really remember a lot of things, but he remembers the thing that happened in the past, and it kind of sticks out to him. And so he goes to this therapist or whatever, to figure things out. So one day she takes him to the woods and to the tree that they tied her to. And he's basically like, what are we doing here? She's like, this is the first place this is where we met, or this is our favorite place, or something like that. Um, so like while she's like talking about, like, this is the place where we met and this is our favorite place or whatever, she, I think, pulls out the gun on him or something like that. He ends up admitting that he always knew who she was from the moment that she came up to him. He knew who she was, and what she did to Emmett and Henry. So basically, he's like, "You're not getting over on me. I knew exactly who you were when you first walked up to me. I can never forget your face, because basically it haunted me all my life." So they end up fighting, they tussling over the gun or whatever, and the gun goes off. She ends up getting killed, and he's sitting in his therapy session talking about the situation and what happened or whatever. While before they started fighting over the gun, though, he told her, like, just get over it. Like, can you just forgive me and we can move on and we can have a life together? Now, I felt like he was just talking her down to just get the gun from her or whatever. Um But it was a part of me that also felt like he was being honest. But anyway, she didn't buy it. She ends up getting killed. So he's sitting in the therapist's office telling her about what happened and like the memories and some of his memories being lost. And the therapist ends up being the girl's mother. And so she kills him and walks out. And that's how it ended. That's how the movie ended. I'm not gonna lie, I only watched the movie because I think her name is Lamaya, because Lamaya was on it, and I feel like she's a dope actress or whatever. But the story to me just was all over the place and spotty, and it didn't really make sense. I just didn't understand like why she didn't just kill him when he was in the coma. Like, why did you need to shoot him and also make sure he died? Like, you could have killed him while he was in a coma. And also, he basically told her that he knew who she was, so he basically devised this plan. The friend that he fired, his campaign manager, he he put him in on the plan, and they were basically like setting her up or whatever. But it didn't really make sense to me. Like, if you knew that this was the girl that you um left for dead when you were a kid, and you knew that she killed your other two friends, why would you marry her? Why would you do all of the things that you did to her? Did you think that you was gonna like change her mind? I don't know. It was just dumb. Like, a lot of it kind of felt like a rush story too. But I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't come out with a part two, because y'all know Tubi will drag a storyline and it don't even be necessary. But the storyline wasn't that great to me. It was cool. The acting was pretty good because the people who were in it could actually act, but the storyline just didn't do it for me. It was all over the place, like I said. Some of it didn't make sense, and it felt rushed. But it was cool. I don't do the star system no more, but it was a cool movie. Like, I feel like if you want to watch it, you can. I basically gave all of the spoilers, but I feel like it's a cool watch, something that you could just put on or whatever, but don't have any high expectations. I didn't have any high expectations, but I only watched it because Lamaya was on it. I'm not gonna lie. But it was cool or whatever. I just thought that I would go ahead and do the review. But the name of it is Happy Anniversary, and it's on Tubi. But let me know what you think about that movie. If you saw it, if you didn't see it, and you go watch it after you see this review, come back and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about my review, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye! Before you go, check out my website at srgraham.org and subscribe to my mailing list to get exclusive updates on works in progress, other news, and blog posts. Thank you.